to charge my retail on a different card because I didn't want my mom to know I bought another sweatshirt. Soul Cycle Rider. There's a lot of baggage that comes with us, but it's like Louis Vuitton baggage. You always want it. Kim Kardashian.
This is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good. Stitch.
Good morning. My name is Clara Ekholm, and I'm a sixth form boarder. That is a sentence that everyone has in his or her chapel talk. And then it's followed by, and I'm from some small town in the New England area. But this is where I get stuck. So you can only imagine writing this talk and being stuck after just the first sentence. So just bear with me. Let me take you on a quick tour of my life. My very exciting life of not having a place defined as home. I was born in Greenwich, Connecticut. Yup, I bet some of you guys did not know this, but I'm like many of you, born in Fairfield County. But it's not where I grew up. So don't get too excited. When I was 4 and a half, my parents picked up their 4 kids, all around the same age, and moved across the Atlantic Ocean to Stockholm, Sweden. Sweden is home to my parents. It's where my parents grew up, and where all my extended family lives, and where my dad's new job was located. But Sweden did not feel like home to me. I did love my life in Sweden. I went to school and played tennis like all the other kids. So Sweden is an important part of my story. But the kids in Sweden always knew me as the American kid. Because my father's job involved a lot of travel, every single break, we would fly back to the US, and these trips were so frequent that the flight crew on the SAS flight from Stockholm to New York knew all of our names. I've received countless stuffed animals and Easter eggs from flight attendants. I know, super exciting. And after a couple years in Sweden, my older sister Anna decided that she wanted to look in high schools in the US. So my parents said that she could attend boarding school if she wanted to, because moving the whole family to the US was not an option at the time. So Anna did her research on a bunch of different schools and eventually attended Choate. A year later, my older brother Carl decided to do the same thing, and he ended up here at Westy. Little did I know this would foreshadow my own future and also an internal family rivalry. So, with 2 kids at boarding school, my parents decided to move all of us, once again, across the Atlantic. My parents loved to ski, so we moved out to the mountains in Colorado. This is where Avon, Colorado comes into the picture. We had been skiing in Colorado for 12 years before deciding to move our life out there. So, the place we once went to for vacation became our new home. My sister and I attended Vail Mountain School and started our new life out there. This move was by far the hardest thing I'd ever done. I went from only speaking Swedish with my friends and teachers to only speaking English. Yeah, my English was fine, but it wasn't great. I came into 8th grade having never written a history essay in English. So you can just imagine that first paper was rough, to say the least. I'd never studied math or science in English, so during my first class, I honestly did not understand a thing. But my twin sister Julia and I had each other to lean on, and slowly we started branching out to other kids in our grade. But it wasn't easy. Our grade had 30 kids in it who had all been with each other since kindergarten. So joining them in 8th grade was hard. They thought Julia and I were cool because of our European background, but eventually we were just the new kids and once again, the outsiders. Looking back now, I had a great time out in the mountains. We only went to school 4 days a week in the winter, and we skied on Fridays. What 14-year-old would not like that schedule? I learned some great new things out in the mountains, and I also performed in my first ever play. I'm sorry, Ms. Rashid, for never auditioning, but I could never sing in front of you and Chris with a straight face. In the spring of my 8th grade year, most of our conversations around the dinner table revolved around boarding school or Colorado. My parents encouraged my twin sister Julia and I to apply, so we did. We toured, applied, and revisited both Westminster and Choate. And after a year of living in Colorado, it was time to pack up again. I followed my older brother Carl here, and Julia followed our sister to Choate. This was the first time my twin sister and I would be apart, and although we were both nervous, we had both found our right place. So, the last part of my story is Westminster, a place that has truly changed me for the better. I've met some of the most amazing people that will be in my life forever, and for that I'm grateful. Living here for the past 4 years has not always been easy. Just like Colorado and Sweden, there are ups and downs each year, but alongside my best friends and an amazing support system of my incredible advisor, Ms. Devaney, my favorite tennis coach, Ms. Heckman, and other amazing teachers and coaches, I can proudly say it's all been worth it, every single day. So, now as you guys have heard my story, I want to get to the point of this whole talk. How does one define home? When people ask me where I'm from, I never know what to say. Sweden, Colorado, or Connecticut. All three of these places feel like home. I don't base my answer on where I spend most time or I like it the most, but rather on the people who I'm spending my time with. Because we're one big family, we rarely get all 6 of us together at the same time. But when we are, that is when I feel the most at home. When we sit around the dinner table and have a family dinner, I feel as if I can be my true self. I don't have to hide anything because my siblings and parents have truly seen me in my worst and in my best. Also, a little shout out to my parents for teaching us that home is not defined by one place, but rather by the people who you are with, whether it's in Connecticut, Colorado, Sweden, or at SoulCycle with you, Mom and Dad. I always feel at home. But home is also when I'm surrounded by my best friends. I've learned to find home in the people around me, whether it's walking laps around the quad with Chris. And to anybody wondering, we're not dating. We've just been attached at the hip for the past 4 years. Or it's hanging out in my favorite people's rooms until I can't keep my eyes open any longer. Or sitting in the dining hall until it closes. You guys know who you are. Or walking down to the tennis courts with my team. Westy slowly became another home. So, now as I've blabbered on for a long time about my life, let's try that first sentence again. Good morning. My name is Clara Ekholm. I'm a 6th form boarder from Sweden, Connecticut, and Colorado, and who knows where for the next 4 years. Thank you.